It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news, Sheriff Chuck Mosley states the Georgia State Patrol investigating that bad head-on collision which occurred at this time Thursday morning out past Little Creek Road on Highway 341. Officers of the Wayne County Sheriff's Department responded in reference to the collision involving a passenger vehicle and a commercial vehicle. The commercial vehicle was traveling southbound while the passenger vehicle was traveling northbound. Both vehicles collided head-on in the center lane. Deputies rendered aid until the EMS arrived. Driver of the passenger vehicle was treated and transported to Wayne Memorial Hospital by Wayne County EMS, later flown to Savannah Memorial Hospital for further medical treatment. Driver of the commercial vehicle was treated and released, and the accident being investigated by the Georgia State Patrol. In Atlanta, the Georgia legislative session continues. On Thursday, Governor Brian Kemp signed into law several election rule changes, imposing voter ID requirements, limiting drop boxes, and allowing state takeovers of local elections. Kemp finished the bill just 1 hour after it cleared the General Assembly along party lines and over objections from Democratic lawmakers. The votes 34-20 in the Senate, 100-75 in the House. Protesters outside the Capitol claim the bill will disenfranchise voters, and State Representative Park Cannon, a Democrat from Atlanta, was arrested by Georgia State troopers after knocking on Kemp's door, trying to witness the signing of the bill. That video posted on social media. Those who support the legislation say it's simply a move to protect election integrity. Kemp, in signing the bills into law, said, quote, "Significant changes to our state elections were needed. There's no doubt there were many alarming issues with how the last election was handled, and those problems understandably led to a crisis of confidence in the ballot box here in Georgia," end quote. Several voting organizations filed federal lawsuits to stop the bill Thursday evening, saying it creates unjustifiable burdens, especially on minority, young, poor, and disabled voters. Suit filed by the New Georgia Project, Black Voters Matters, and Rise oppose absentee ID requirements, drop box limits, provisional ballot invalidations. Again, next week we'll once again check in with our local representatives, get their thoughts on the legislation signed into law on Thursday. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, the Wayne County Commissioners are meeting today in a work session. It's taking place at the Wayne County Airport at 8 a.m. ending at 12 noon. Again, the press release doesn't have any items listed on the agenda, so not certain what they're discussing, but again, that's taking place today between 8 a.m. and 12 noon. City of Jesup Commissioners have their retreat planned for Monday and Tuesday. They've released a full agenda of the topics will be discussed. On Monday, March 29th, 9 a.m., Mike Deal will give the state of the city. 9:30 a.m., the Water Department. Supervisor Anthony Crawford will be on hand. 10:15, Wastewater Department with Patrick Martin. 11 a.m., Public Works with Eddie Williams. 11:30, Downtown Development Authority, Molly Hall will be on hand for that update. Also, they'll break for lunch from 12 to 1 on Monday. Then at 1 o'clock, Ed Jefferson, Judge Vi Bennett on hand, talked about the Judiciary Complex. 2 p.m., Industrial Development Authority Director Del Keith. 2:30 p.m., City Hall discussion with Rose Marcus. 3 p.m., open discussion with the council, and then they'll close at 4 p.m. on Monday. Come back on Tuesday at 9 a.m., Captain Morgan and Captain Rich will give an update on the police department. 10 a.m., Fire Chief Josh Huffman will be on hand to give an update on the fire department. 11 a.m., they'll discuss engineering with Bill Schuman. Break for lunch. Then at 1 p.m., Building Inspector Don Heron. 2 to 4, open discussion with the council, and break at 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Again, that retreat taking place next week at the Craig Williams Community Center, Monday and Tuesday. Reminder to all kids 12 and under about Saturday's big event for Easter, the annual Easter egg hunt sponsored by WIFO, WLP, and Unity Church of God. This year it's a drive-through event where kids just get your parents to drive you up to the church, come through the drive-through, pick up a bag of candy, eggs with prizes inside. And the time of the event, Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Unity Church of God will have people out front directing traffic. Also be a place to stop and get a family picture as well. Again, all this taking place this Saturday, tomorrow between 10 and 12 noon at Unity Church of God. Also Saturday, the JC Fairgrounds Annual Dogwood Festival, entertainment from 10 to 5 p.m., all types of arts and crafts, great food, a concert set up from 8 to 10 p.m. tomorrow evening with the band Dustin Monk and the Hustle. And that's the annual Dogwood Arts and Crafts Festival set for Saturday at the JC Fairgrounds. We'll come back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor of the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Finally, in the news, just an update on 3 stories that WIFO-FM continues to cover and seek updates and conclusions on, but unfortunately it's mainly been no comment or still an open investigation, and we'll keep you posted. But WIFO-FM continues to be persistent in seeking information for the listening audience who, like us, would like to see finality and answers to pending questions that remain unanswered to this day. The first story is the first murder of this year, which occurred back on January 13th, in which a man is at his home at night with his wife and kids. Person to persons unknown break into his home, shoot and kill the victim, 31-year-old Jerry Davis, longtime valuable employee to McDaniel Vending. According to the GBI and other law enforcement reports, shot multiple times, even shot in the face, basically an execution. Still to this date, no arrest as far as reported, no suspect or suspects. In talking with GBI agent Stacey Carson on Thursday, she says still nothing new to report. It's still under investigation, and agents still working the case. GBI still offers that hotline for anyone with information regarding the murder. That number again, 800-597-8477. Again, 1-800-597-8477. And WIFO FM continues to follow this first murder of the year, which again occurred back on January 13th. Story number 2, now that the Grievance Board has upheld the firing of Police Chief Mike Lane based on information gathered by the Liberty County Sheriff's Department's investigation into the allegations filed by 3 former Jesup female employees, $64,000 question remains. What's in the GBI investigative report into the allegations? GBI report has been complete and still sits on the district attorney's desk. That by his own admission on the Butch and Bob show, which aired Friday, March 5th, 3 weeks ago today. GBI report was completed before that. The city had their grievance hearing, and the grievance committee asked for that GBI report. Was told at that time during the grievance hearing that it would not be made available to them. And I still go back to City Manager Mike Deal's testimony when asked under oath about the GBI report. Deal stated, quote, "I will not defend or offend the district attorney, but the city would like to have that report at this time," end quote. With the report complete, the question remains, will District Attorney Keith Higgins be filing any criminal charges against former Chief Mike Lane based on the GBI findings, or did the GBI clear the former chief? Either way, the public and the city of Jesup have a right to know. We continue to seek that information from the district attorney. And finally, let's go back to May 11th of 2020, when the Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr requested the GBI investigate the handling of how the Almont Arbery case was handled by 2 former prosecutors in the case, District Attorney Jackie Johnson and District Attorney of the Waycross Circuit, George Barnhill. WIFO talked this week with Attorney General Chris Carr, and he also says this is still an ongoing investigation, but he says he hopes to have answers about that investigation within weeks. But it's been approaching over a year ago in May that the Attorney General ordered the GBI investigation be conducted. So again, we continue to follow these 3 stories, continue to seek answers to our questions. Since we get updates, we'll pass that information along to our listening audience. As Easter approaches, hopefully soon answers to many unanswered questions will soon be made public. That's going to do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, say have a great day.